Hey there, little ones. Lee here doing a movie review for the new film Predators. I'm going to start off by apologizing right away for being half naked. It is hot as heck in Ontario right now. Deal with it. Okay, so Predators. Despite what a lot of people are saying, this is not a reboot of the original, even though there are arguments as to why people say it's a reboot, but I'll touch on those later on. So yeah, brand spanking new Predator. So, starts off right off the bat, Adrian Brody's character is plummeting through the sky. He's hitting his chest, trying to open a parachute. Frantic, opens at the last second. Boom, crashes into the floor of this rainforest, and Predators comes up on screen. Awesome start for a horror, sci-fi action flick. So, like, right off the bat, this movie was pretty much telling you there's action, there's excitement, and that's really about it. Right away, we're introduced to a cast of characters. They're all different miscreants and terrible people from other areas of the globe and have their hands in different kinds of terrible deeds. You have your Yakuza member, you have a guy from the cartel, you have army mercenaries, you have special ops guys, you have convicts. Basically, this is a collection of humanity's worst, and in Hollywood's eyes. So anyone from Yakuza, please don't kill me. And yeah, so right out the bat, kind of hard to really distinguish a hero because these are all terrible people. Adrian Brody's character and Alice Braga, they kind of fight to be the main character, but either way, they're still horrible people, so don't really feel like you need to cheer for anybody. Story goes that every season, the Predators, they gather the best of the best killers of other races, other species, bring them to this planet, and then hunt them down and kill them to become better killers themselves. Basic story. I mean, you're not... This isn't Hemingway. It's a very basic story, I'm not going to lie to you. And that's really what the movie pretty much is this pack of predators hunting down this pack of humans. It's really a lot like the same recipe of the first Predator, which again is an argument for why this is a reboot. Again, the reasons why this isn't a reboot, because they directly mention the first Predator movie in this one. So I guess that was kind of their way of saving it. But it seems still pretty inexcusable. Again, I'll touch on those in a bit. I'm still on characters. Topher Grace made this movie. Everyone was so over the top, overly serious, doing the Christian Bale Batman voice, because that's the cool thing to do in action movies these days. And Topher Grace was like the bumbling, nerdy comic relief character, and really, he saved this movie. His character had the best progression, the best development. It was subtle, where everyone else was so over the top. His line delivery was terrific. Really, he saved this movie. Lawrence Fishburne, you could say the same for him, but his character was very small, very minute, and really, in the long run, offered nothing to the full story of this movie. It was cool to see Lawrence Fishburne again, but his character had no impact whatsoever. So yeah, you had Adrian Brody, who's your main character, Alice Braga, who's the other main character, but the only one you really gave a damn about was Topher Grace. Scenes where, like, other characters are dying, it looks like he's about to die. I was actually sitting there going, like, no, don't kill him off yet. I want to learn more about this guy. So, hey, Topher did a great job. The rest, too over the top. It was too cheesy, too cliche. Every single cliched textbook action movie line that you've ever heard in your life is somewhere in this movie. And it got exhausting. I know Predator's not a movie you're supposed to think, so it's forgivable. But it got to the extent that, like, you could totally predict who was going to say what and when and what the responses were going to be. It was too cliche for me. I didn't hate this movie. I want to make sure, like, get that out right away. I didn't hate this movie, just it had a lot of things I didn't like about it. Another thing that was could have been cool, but they really didn't play it up enough, was we're introduced to this new breed, this new class, I guess you'd call it, of predators. Like, for years and years and years, we've always seen these 6.5, 7 foot tall predators who, they're white, they're fleshy, and they're pretty badass. Well, guess what? There's bigger badasser ones. Badasser, is that a word? And they basically push around the littler predators. And, like, it was a really neat story plot they could have gone with that ultimately went nowhere. It was completely unimportant. It really contributed nothing to the overall story except for, oh my god, this Predator is bigger and badder than the one Arnold fought. That's really all it was. And it didn't need to happen. It was kind of cool if they did, if they'd done something with it, but they didn't do anything with it, so therefore, why even bother, The homage to the, homage, however you want to say it, to the previous movies, at first it was cool. They openly reference it, they discuss it. There's little bits and pieces that, it's an homage to the first movie. It's like, okay, that's really cool, but it started to become a little much, and then it became too much. It's one thing to pay homage to the predecessor. It's another thing to so excessively borrow from it in an attempt to make your product better that it becomes irritating. Spoiler alert, the final confrontation between the hero and the Predator was great, because we already saw it 25 years ago. It was directly ripped off from the first Predator movie. And I was like, really? Like, I actually said in the theater, really? Like, you're gonna go there? You can't think of anything original? And again, the acting was so bad. It was so over the top. Adrian Brody as an action star, I just wasn't getting into it. Like, his delivery was atrocious. I mean, at one point, the Predator looks up, and there's Adrian Brody with his body double standing in there, all ripped, covered in mud, and then it zooms in on his face, and he goes, "Yes, mud." I want to know, how many takes did he need to do that in? Because how can you deliver that line with a straight face? "Yes, mud. Your one weakness, the one thing you fear. Wet dirt. I slathered on my body. Fear me." Like, It was a scene where no dialogue would have been better than the dialogue they had, and unfortunately that was a curse of a lot of this movie. The scripting was not well done, and the delivery in many cases was even worse. Had the delivery been better from most of these actors, then the hokey, campy script would have been more forgivable. But it wasn't. But hey, it made Topher look a lot better, because ultimately, like I said, he made this movie. He was the only character you gave a damn about. It's Predator. It's nothing really new. If you're a Predator fan, or you're just looking for a mind-numbing, not requiring any kind of thought action movie, totally go check this out. It's not a bad movie by any extent, but if you're looking for something a little more, something more depth to it, then there's probably better choices you have right now. Maybe make this one a renter. It's better than Alien vs. Predator, but I know that's not really saying much. But hey, you know what? Maybe you'll like it more than I did. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'll probably pass on it when it comes out on Blu-ray, but hey, you might like it because it's Predator, and fanboys love Predator. I loved Predator when I was a kid. I just wish they'd do something kind of new with it. That's really all I had to say. Full written review is on liveinlimbo.com. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I guess I'll see you next time.